So if I can control what I control, there's a lot of control.
Colin. These are the options. Used to be employee, these are the options. I gotta make it to make it. I gotta make it to make it.
Welcome to the Colin with Colin show. I am your co-host, Digital Jeff. To all my dreamers, entrepreneurs who have an idea and they're itching to take that leap of faith. I know you're out there. This episode is for you. Colin will be going over strategy and mindset that is required to launch a new business, start a new venture, and how to find what product your audience actually is willing and ready to buy, even if you still don't have a community. Interesting, right? We're going to be going over that and much more on this episode. And today we have Luke Hartelust calling in from San Diego. Luke is a serial entrepreneur, owner of multiple F45 gyms in Southern California. Recently, he launched MNLY Box, the ¡1 subscription performance box for men. For context, I personally directed and produced the launch video for MNLY Box. Luke flew me to Mexico along with my team, and we shot in 3 different cities: Tulum, Merida, and Cozumel with Cozumel Airlines. Shout out to Cozumel Airlines for an amazing experience there. But I wanted to bring on Luke on the show because he just launched MNLY Box, and he has a lot of questions that are very similar to what you might have if you're launching a new business. So excited to have Luke on the show. Luke, welcome to the show. What is your first question for Colin?
What system have you built around your life so that you can get the most energy out of your day, so that you can move through your day with the most energy and execute consistently day in, day out?
Yeah, that's a great kind of like multi-tiered question. What I would say is that I am extremely routine, I'm extremely structured, and I have an incredible team. I create job roles from nowhere, and I'll create based on not just the needs. It is obviously the needs of the organization, but I'm more invested into people. What are you strong at? I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. I want to be in the room and be the dumbest motherfucker in there. I want to be around other people that elevate me and move the needle. My passion's more like marketing, branding, personal development, brand development, forward-facing to our top-tier customers called Redline Elite and Elite Platinums. But for me, and I guess it would be investing in the right people and staying extremely routine and structured. So cadence calls, like cadence of our top leadership. We have a weekly meeting Monday at 2:00, and it is always the same. There's a lower tier that all the department supervisors will have a meeting with the assistant plant manager or the plant manager. And then we have 2 manufacturing plants, 150,000 square feet. So everything is extremely structured. And as these different tiers of leadership are working in tandem together, the information is now disseminated back to me so that I can make bigger holistic views, or a holistic like approach to everything. But I would say is also like from anything that's not going to be worth my time to do, delegating it out and being comfortable letting go, and knowing that even if it's not 100% the way that I would say it, being comfortable enough to let go of certain things that I've had to do for so long. I think a lot of people, and even myself at times, several years ago, it was hard for me to let go of certain areas of the business, because when you're starting a company, you're having to do everything. And so it's the same thing with me. I'm letting go and promoting people. And as we're growing the organization, and I challenge them. I challenge my leadership team to know, guys, as Redline, as growing and scaling, it's in the best interest of the organization. It's nothing personal. You have to grow personally, or you will not be here for long, or I'll have to hire somebody to put you at this next level. So I'm challenging them to make sure that they're not complacent. They're moving the needle. They're hungry to be more successful, because as we're growing triple digits year over year, You have to make sure that your leadership team clearly knows that there's accountability, but it starts with me. It starts with me making sure that that is clearly communicated on expectations from their department, holding standards that are reasonable, and metrics that aren't just thrown up at the air and saying, oh, this should work. No, if you're going to come to me with, let's just say the equation is manufacturing this part, I've got to know run cycle times. I need to know how many parts fit on a sheet. What's the estimated physical COGS? What is, like, all of these things that we've got in place now has taken years to develop. But now I know we can cut this many parts. This is how long it takes. This is the percentage of revenue, gross physical COGS. And so then there's some form of a known variable. And so I guess short term, answering your question, investing in the right people, developing accountability structure, and then keeping that same systems processes fluent, where every single week we know exactly what are these top level priorities that need to be done. And then quarterly, what does that look like to make sure that we hit our goals from the previous quarter?
To piggyback off that question, your specific routine for yourself to manage that energy so that you can also, oversee and execute day in, day out. Do you have a routine, like a daily routine that you go through and that you work through every day?
Yeah, 7 days a week, brother. I'm crazy though. Most people aren't like me. I believe that Monday is the same as a Sunday, same as a Saturday. It's just a day. And I have to win the day. I have to maximize the same 24 hours. I think your mind is something that is trainable. I think that you can train it, just like mind-body connection in the gym. You just working out right now, you know the right form. You know when you're doing, let's just say, bent over rows, if your elbow placement's 40 degrees higher, it could hit more of your front delts versus rear delts. And it's all just slight variables, but that mind-body connection allows you to know, okay, I'm targeting front delts, I need to do X. Same thing with my mind. 7 days a week, I have my alarm clock set for the exact same time. 99% of the time, I beat my alarm clock by 10, 15, 20 minutes because I'm so routine and structured. And that's weekends included, because weekends are just another Monday. So I think that what's helped me is staying regimented every single day and then challenging myself. Like this year, it's the year of foundation, and I have proclaimed certain things that I need to accomplish. And that personal accountability is back on me to the point where I'm not touching alcohol. I haven't had a sip all year. And we have like mastermind retreats every quarter. And so now a lot of the members joke around with me because they want to take a shot, and they're like, yeah, they're trying to get me to do it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Because I'm focused, man. Like, I'm so focused on what needs to happen, and that personal accountability where I've challenged myself, I'm not gonna let myself down. If it's something that I can control my time, I can control my mind, I can control what I eat, what I drink. And so I can reduce a lot of friction and bullshit that's not needed because I can control those things. I can't control the economy. I can't control inflation. I can't control the job market. But what I can control is how I treat my team. I can control how I show up and present myself every day. I can control how my leadership reacts and responds respectfully. So if I can control what I control, there's a lot of control.
And that's the only thing you need to really focus on, is those things that are in your control. This is a question for you in regards to subscription models. What has been the best either funnel or structure, or the most successful structure that you've found for using a kind of a tripwire strategy or a lower ticket offer in regards to then upselling or retargeting to sell those customers then onto your high ticket offer?
Yeah, so great question. I think I I've spoke about it a few times about less is more. And what I mean by that is reducing friction. So I love your concept of funnels and using that as kind of a tripwire, quote unquote, campaign to get people on board at a lower risk. And so really it could be used several different methods. I think a lot of people that have subscriptions that probably could be a lot more successful is if they started their subscription with just one tier. Most people think, oh, I need a low tier, mid tier, and a high tier. Why? You don't, at least not at first. I think that you should identify based on what is the market demand, what is your goals? Is it less is more with a more expensive market monthly recurring revenue side, or is it a volume at scale game? Would I rather have 50,000 subscribers at $25 a month, or would I be more conscious to go a fraction of that, but at $150 a month? And really it's going to come down to your marketing approach. How much are you willing to take as a loss leader on the front end to acquire those customers? If you're selling a box for $150 to $200, your cost per acquisition to get them on board could be 2-3 times that amount. And when you're first starting off with the subscription, you don't know what your lifetime value is. So you don't know what that risk reward energy is. You don't know. So what I would say is like a low tier, a high incentive to give them a taste of what they're going to get, right? Use it as, man, this is incredible. I want this every single month. And it could be, you send them the box and they only cover shipping on the front end. And then the auto bill recurring is going to hit 14 days later, something like that. And then between them receiving it and let's just say you ship within 3 business days, now you've got a week before they get rebilled to make sure that you have touch points to that consumer to make them not want to cancel or have disputes, chargebacks. And that's just one analogy. I don't know, there's so many different subscription models out there in boxes, whether it's quarterly or monthly. I mean, there's weekly subscriptions. So it's really going to depend, and then it's going to depend on the price point, who your end consumer is. But I think the challenge is market acquisition is extremely high and challenging for customers to find your brand and want to sign up off the bat. So if you can get customers on a front end low ticket item and then ascend them either post-purchase upsells or maybe they just bought a necklace or a shirt, and then after they order, you email them, hey, by the way, we've got this incredible box. Let me show you what it is, whatever. Then you've already got the data to retarget them. So you're just basically the intent of your first purchase. It could be kind of like a break-even strategy. I'm willing to break even for new customer acquisition and then ascend them into subscription.
All right, Colin. So this is a question for pre-sale strategies, and what the answer that I'm after is, how have you, number one, implemented a successful pre-sale strategy? Like, what has been the structure? And number two is, like, what has been the best channel that you've utilized for that campaign?
What I would say is focusing within your own core group. Let's just say you have a pre-existing customer base and you're wanting to launch a new product category of focus, like he's asking, pre-launching something and mitigating risk to make sure that the market is going to want this. What I would say is ask your own customers. From an ascension model, create a Facebook group. For us, we have a VIP group. And on Facebook, we ask them, basically, what do you think about this? And we've got 3 separate groups, and I want to explain this real quick. So our ascension model, the lowest tier, right, the top of the funnel, which is the most people in it, the lowest engaged. This is the open to the public type deal. This is the VIP group. The next tier is those that have placed 5 or more orders since February 26, 2020, when I launched it February, is Redline Elite. And then we have another, the lowest is Redline Elite Platinum. Now, what I want to think about is before going to market, my lowest tier, which is Redline Elite Platinum, they would probably give me a yes, I love it for anything that I asked about, right? And so I have to ascend from different levels. I want to get honest, truthful feedback. What group? I got to use the VIP group. This is the largest group, but they're also not the ones that are in the Elite and Elite Platinums. I want to get those that are at least engaged. They know who I am. They know our products. There's trust and security, but I want real, honest feedback because I feel confident that I could sell empty water bottles and Elites would buy it. And I mean that respectfully, but everybody, every business is going to have that top tier customer group. Create an ascension where you can utilize and harness them to be your focus group. Apple pays millions of dollars for focused groups into different subcategories, ethnicities around the world. They want to know what are they more intentional about. For us, we're fortunate enough to have 50,000, VIP members in this group that we can test before it goes to market. And they love getting feedback, especially if their product pick, if it won. And so then they feel like their voice made a difference. So utilize those networks before you go to market. And it's also an awareness play, right? At the end of the day, they're like, holy shit, you're doing canvas too? I thought it was just steel products. No, we offer a lot more than just canvas. We offer apparel and a bunch of other things. So I think that utilizing your own core demographic and your own customers, if you're pre-existing, before you launch, and identifying what needs to improve. Look at that more. Look at improvements more than sustainabilities. Look at it from the end consumer, because for me, it doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what they think as a voice. I don't want butterflies on my wall, but I'll create a shitload of butterflies, hummingbirds, tulips, and whatever else my end consumer wants. And I'm going to listen to them. What color do you want? What size? Do you like this bouquet with 5 or do you like it with 12? And I'm just going to utilize them, and they love it. They just ask for it. And then they're involved, we're involved, and it's just an incredible synergy. So that's kind of my go-to before I launch. So that would be my version of a pre-launch before I'm putting paid market ad spend behind a new product category of focus, is to test it within that group and then see what is the overall response.
And on that, if you were to reverse that and you didn't have access to a group like that, what would be the best way to test the market, you think, with your product?
I would say don't ask friends or family because they're going to give you a biased decision. I would say go to a mall, go to somewhere that's not biased. Figure out who your end consumer is. Like if it's women 40 to 65 plus, go to a soccer game. Walk around and ask strangers, what do you think about this? If it's men that's 25 to 35, that's into fitness and lifestyle, go to random gyms and start walking around and ask people. Be vulnerable. And that's free. And get advice. And, but it's really going to depend on your market. But just understand who you're targeting and then go after that core demographic.
Yeah. Awesome, mate. Very, very, very helpful. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. Thanks for being on the show. I do have one last question for you. If you were to pass away tomorrow, what would you want to be remembered for?
Oh, that is loaded. I would want to be remembered for creating a large network that drives massive impact in the men's space.
Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with your friends. And every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a new episode drops. Also, you can be on the show. If you go to invite.millionairecreator.com, you can apply. It's free, and you may have a chance to be on the show with me, Colin with Colin. Be sure to share this video, and if you do, we may reshare your post. Also, if you enjoy entrepreneurship just like I do, I would encourage you to go to our new website, millionairecreator.com. We have some incredible products from steel merchandise, canvas, apparel, and education courses, ebooks, and physical books. So guys, millionairecreator.com, check it out for yourself. I know you'll love it, especially for all of those entrepreneurs out there. Think of me as a recruiter, and I'm building an army of millionaires in this Millionaire Creator journey. I'm Colin Wayne, your instructor from Millionaire Creator, and someone that has been to war, that's battle tested, bootstrapping my business to over 150,000 square feet, and the fastest growing company in the state of Alabama. For the first time ever, I'm here to reveal my tactics and strategies that work in today's state, not something that worked years ago. Boot camp starts today. Stop wasting time. Click that link.
Boxes, I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it, quitting was never an option. Exhausted,